What is up, everybody? It is Nathan Payne, and who we got here?
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Nathan Valley, not to get confused with Nathan Payne.
That's right. And we got our boy Henry. We love Henry. He's in the mentorship, and we love bringing him on because he takes action. What's up, Henry?
What's up, everyone?
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, guys, we got a lot going on for you. If you didn't know, there's a challenge that Privy's doing, and we are taking action. Just like the people in the challenge, we're taking action. I have a deal that I need to dispo right now. It's under contract. Nathan's got a deal he's about to get. Actually, let me say what we're going to do today. So we're going to show you guys how to find buyers using Privy. We're going to show you guys how to take action. I'm going to call some agents. We're not going to be talking theory. We're going to be showing you how it's done. All right. Nathan, let's start off. I think you actually have a deal, right?
Yeah, so this property, it's listed on the market. So the funny thing, it wasn't even me that made the offer. It's a guy that I connected with in my market. So it's like, hey, I've got buyers in this area, and he really likes to JV. He knows I've got great buyers. He knows I can help him with the dispo side. So he made an offer on this property, and the agent was like, no, not a chance.
No way.
And then, walked away. Well, like a week and a half goes by, and he just hit me up. He was like, hey, the agent was just like, hey, is that offer still on the table? So it happens all the time, guys, all the time. I mean, this agent, it was like a hard no. Like, it wasn't like a, let me think about it. Dude, it was like a, don't call me back with that number. And she called us back.
It happens all the
It's
time,
kind of
bro.
funny how that happens sometimes, man. So this property, it's in Jacksonville. Orlando, Florida is kind of my main market that I'm focusing on right now. So Jacksonville's a little bit outside my area. So I'm kind of got to find some buyers in the Jacksonville area. It's a property to where it's a little bit difficult to comp. The price point's a little bit hard. From a few comps that I saw, I think I could sell buyers on at least a 350 to maybe like 380 ARV. But it all depends how they're going to look at it. But the thing I got to take into consideration is that's a bit of a lot of guys want to be buying houses below 300,000. They really like 300,000 ARV or lower. And the reason being is so they're at that median price point. So it doesn't mean we can't sell this deal to an end buyer. It just means I've probably got to leave a little bit of extra meat on the bone for the end buyer. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm trying to find some buyers in Jacksonville and get their feedback because I actually don't even have it under contract yet. Right, so the agent came back and was like, hey, is that offer still on the table? And we're like, I'll get back to you.
Let me get back to you. I love it.
So because we don't want to go locking something up if we can't sell it. So I'm at the point where I'm like, hey, let me connect with a few buyers and get some feedback. And I'm going to have them take a look at the address and whatnot and go from there.
I'm curious, the people that are watching this live or that will watch it, I want you to comment. Is that happened to you? Have you walked away from a deal because you're like, man, I think it's a deal, but I don't know. Right? I wish I could ask somebody. I wish I had people that would tell me what they'd pay, right? Has that happened to any of you guys that are watching this? All the time. So look, there's two ways to do this business. You can do it the painless way, where Nate just explained exactly. He saw the deal. He didn't even have it under contract. He went to his buyer. His buyer's checking out. Now, if his buyer wants it, he's going to make an easy 5K. That's the painless way. That's what we teach in Investor Thrive. It's painless. It's easy. That's what Privy is used for. Privy is mainly for, I would say, having buyers and just finding them deals and making it quick, right? Now, there's another way to do wholesaling, and it's painful, okay? It's the painful way. And it happens sometimes. You sometimes get deals in areas that you're not familiar with, and you're like, I think this is a deal. I'm going to have to find a buyer. Now, I'm not here to say, hey, all we do is the painless way. Sometimes we do it the painful way. It's not that fun, but you still make money, right? People still make money from locking up a deal, verifying if it's a deal, and then finding a buyer. That's what we do. I primarily want to do the painless way, make it easy on me, spend as least amount of time as possible, and then I'll go painful occasionally. What I'm going to show you guys right now is a deal that I have and how to dispo it. This was when I was doing things the painful way. This was in 2021. I locked up a deal at $60,000 in Del Rio, Texas. And this property didn't have any buyers. I went and called some agents, found one, and I signed it to a buyer for $15,000. The agent brought me the buyer, so I was willing to pay her $3K. So I was going to make $12,000 on this deal. It was going to close quick. We were good. This property had a huge problem with probate. So 2 years later, the property is now able to go and be sold. sold. The sellers have reached out. They said, hey, are you still good? And I'd said, yes, we just got to check with the partner we're working with. The dude has gone AWOL. We don't know what happened to the guy that we're going to sign it to. The agent doesn't know where they are. So I got to go do things the painful way, right? But I want to make $12,000. I want to see if I can even make more. This was 2 years ago. Things have either probably gotten better in Del Rio or worse. I don't know. I can't even remember if things were hot there, but I'm going to show you how we're going to dispo this deal using the strategy of the painful way, right? But hey, everybody's got to do it sometimes. This is more on the dispo process. And especially for people watching this challenge, if you don't have Privy, you need to get it because Privy's legit. And if you use my code Thrive, you actually get a discount on your first month. So check that out, everybody. So here is the step-by-step checklist to finding a cash buyer. So first, what you have to do is you have to get all the essential information. And from you guys that are doing this challenge, a lot of this information is given to you because these are on market. This one is actually off market, but Privy, obviously you can do deals off market. So you want to grab all the essential information. You want the address, seller's name, seller phone number, access to lockbox. How are we going to get in the house? You want the signed contract. Like I said, we already work with this person. You want any property descriptions, pictures, all documents included in your CRM. We got everything. We got pictures of this house. We got videos. We got the address. You have the seller's name. So bam, check mark. It's done. So we want to analyze the deal right now and verify asking price. So we want to verify if this is still a deal. Okay. I know on Privy, you can go on and check comparables. I do it a little bit different. It's not saying that their strategy isn't the way to go. I just like doing it through my calculator that I made. So this thing is called the offer calculator. What it does is you just plug in all the numbers to see if you got a deal or not. Okay. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So I got to analyze this thing. It was a deal 2 years ago. Is it not? Is it a deal anymore? We're about to find out. So we go to Privy. There's not much going on. And unfortunately, Privy doesn't have, I don't think they have access to the MLS data here. I don't blame them. It's Del Rio. Look at this thing. It's on the border of Texas. This is the problem when you go nationwide too. You get a bunch of crap in the middle of nowhere. This thing is literally on the border of Mexico. But here are some of the properties that are active. My goal would be to call some of these agents and ask them if they know any cash buyers in the area. But we're not going to do that right now. We're just going to check and see if our property, like what it's worth. So ours is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,300 square feet, and it's right in this area. So let's see what we got going on here. This one is 189. Doesn't say any bedrooms. Let's take a look at this. So no, it says no bedrooms, just 1 bath. That's obviously can't be correct, but it's 2,299 square feet. The thing that is promising is my property is 60. I got it under contract for 60,000. You don't see much for sale right now in this area for 60,000, right? So that's nice. But mine's 1,000 square feet, and this one was okay. This one is 1,264 square feet. It looks pretty dang bad, but it's going for 205. Okay, that's good news for me.
You're like, oh.
And if you guys want to look at the pictures that I have of my house, it ain't that tight. It's not the nicest house. It's been abandoned for like 2 years. Yeah, this thing sucks too. But like I said, we had it assigned to someone at 75,000 2 years ago. So I'm hopeful, but I can't cross my fingers. And Nate, this is the problem that everyone has when they go and do the painful way. You're guessing. I'm guessing right now, bro. I'm just trying to use the data, and I wish I knew this area, but I don't, right? So I have to leverage other people. I have to leverage agents. So this is what I can find. I do like, no matter how good Privy or any of these softwares are, I love to use Zillow and Privy together just because I like to verify the information. So Zillow, I'm assuming just because of the access of the data, Zillow is a little bit, gives me a little bit more data on what's going on. So let's check this out. 185, this house is going for 185. It's a little bit bigger than mine. Super nice. I would say it's clean, but that doesn't mean it's cool. So that's not even an as is comp, right? That's not even a flipped comp. 3-1. These are all over the place, Nate. So I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to say, from the condition of my house, I probably got to put in like 20 or 30. It's not very big. And as everybody can see here, no one's really going all out on some giant rehabs. They're just going, doing a little bit, right? None of these have been like flipped like crazy. This is not a flipper's market. We're actually probably trying to find a family that will buy this thing. And maybe we should even list it. Maybe we should just do a novation and just say, hey, we're going to list this for you. We're going to bring this to the open market. But that's how I do it. So if I can get this thing, according to the math that I have in my offer calculator, if it's a 12K rehab, that's a 64,000 net profit. That's just to the flipper. If I gave it to them at 60K, right? And they could sell it for 150. Let's be a little bit more conservative. Let's say it really can go for like 120, right? Someone's still doing that. That's a 30% return without my fee. I go ahead, I say, look, I got to throw my fee in here. I usually on this calculator, I just throw my fee inside the repair costs and then back it out. They're still making 22% on this property. So if someone wanted to buy this and live in it, like fix it up and sell it, there is a lot of potential because I have it at 60K. Now that I've analyzed this deal and I see that it makes sense, I'm going to call around and get some agents and say, hey, do you have any families that want to live in this and fix it up? I think that's kind of what we're going to be going for. If a family buys it, then we're going to have to do a novation. We're going to have to put it on the market because they're probably going to get a traditional loan unless someone has cash. But if I were to just go here to Privy and just be like, where are my flippers? Unfortunately, I don't think there's a lot of flipping going on in Del Rio for this to give me that info. So what do I have to do now that I don't really, I ran my numbers. I think I understand what it needs. What am I going to do? I got to call a market expert. That's what I got to do. I got to call someone and say, hey, look, I got this property. Do you have anyone or am I way off? So after we analyze the deal, we kind of believe it's a deal. So we'll go here. If it's a JV deal, send the paperwork. This isn't a JV deal. This is just a regular deal we have. So making a landing page for the property is the next thing that I do. And let me show you a quick one that I've made in the past. I have a CRM. It's $97 a month. Super easy to use. You can actually make landing pages for your properties that you want to dispo. All you do here is you put, your company name, you put a picture, you put the details of the property, any information like property access, you put a link to pictures so people can go see the pictures, and you put a link so people can make an offer. Super easy. So what I'm going to have to do is on this property, I'm going to have to duplicate this template and do it again. So I'm just going to clone this and I'm going to call this one the Del Rio house. So I'm going to clone that, move to the folder. We got dispo properties, real estate properties to dispo. So I'll show you quickly. We don't have all this time to like make one of these, but all you do is you replace the picture. So we're going to go and get, we'll try and find one that looks decent. So people, when we send this, they get a little interested. This one looks okay. So we're going to download that. We're just going to go put this in here. We're going to replace the picture. We're going to upload the picture. Here it is. And then there, and this is something you can have a VA do. We're just going to take the address here. I know this might be boring for a lot of you, but this is just a part of the game. You make a landing page and you send it out to people and you get them to make offers on your property. It's pretty simple.
One thing I want to touch on real quick was I believe Daniel in the chat asked, he was like, so I should get buyers first. Yes, 100%, guys.
Unless you want to do what I'm doing.
What's that?
Unless you want to do this, like that takes a lot longer, right?
Yeah, so this is a perfect example, and this is the difference from what we were talking about at the beginning of this call compared to what we're doing right now. So this is an old property done the painful way. And you're stuck here wondering, man, like, I don't know what if, like, I've got to try to find somebody. I don't even know if it's a deal. And then the painless way is what we were talking about this morning. Me shooting a text to the guy that I know it's a good fit for. And I'm like, hey, man, can you do it? Cool. This is what I'm going to get paid. And you're going to put the money down to do this, this, and this. Like, let me know. Right? And it takes about 10 minutes worth of work because I found the buyers first. Guys, always start with the end in mind. We talk about that for everything, business, goals, talk about for everything except for wholesaling for some reason. We don't make money unless a flipper or an investor, that end buyer, unless they buy the property from us. So that person is our ideal client. So we got to know, what do they want, right? Because it's supply and demand. We've got to supply them with the thing that they're demanding, the thing that they want. And guys, when you're able to start with that end in mind and start with those relationships with the buyers, when you're making offers, that certainty that you can have when you're talking to a seller, when you're talking to an agent, that conviction that you have when you're making that offer, that's when you really start to see from an acquisition standpoint, You're like, whoa, like I'm getting deals all the time now. I'm like, I'm way better on the phone because you're never wondering, what if, or like, I'm not sure if I'll actually be able to sell this. Like, all that's taken out of the way because you started with the end in mind. You started with the buyers. Privy for me is my favorite way to find them.
Bro, it's such a true thing. I love it too because it is easier, bro. What I'm doing right now is very painful. It's taking a lot of my time to. I'm gonna have to go find somebody, right? And that's how people like, oh, I gotta go find somebody. It happens, right? It happens, and I don't mind finding somebody, but I'd rather much rather do it the other way.